Told you. Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? You what? God design, God design.
Boer buddies, what's the deal? What's the deal, Boer buddies? We made it back 2025. We here. What's going on? Made it another year. Thank the highest power. I'm so happy to be here. Woo! It's been a tough journey, Boer buddies. Woo! If you don't know what's going on, y'all, I'm your host, Jordan Pittman, with Exotic Boerboels. I am the Boerboel man, and this is the Boerboel Show. Tonight, we're going to be discussing purebred dogs. Purebred, that word is so confusing. It can be so misleading and it's deceptive. So I decided, Exotic Boerboel Familia, one of the things that we must do is investigate. We must ask questions. When things don't make logical sense, we must ask questions. We cannot just let that go. And we got to ask questions until we fully understand. One of the things that we must understand is wordplay. Words as a tool of power. Words are powerful tools that can be used to deceive, manipulate, or liberate people. People manipulate language to maintain control. And these definitions, it's a little bit interesting, if you ask me. We have a lot of people that they toss this word purebred dog around, purebred, pure blood. And where does it come from? This is something that is new. This is something that is not historic. This is something that can go to South in the building. What's up, JD? We're talking about the power of words, the importance of definitions. We gotta have these definitions so to make sure that we're on the same page. Anytime that you have a legal discussion or a factual discussion, one of the first things that they do is define the terms so that it's understood. We both know that we're talking about the same things, and we give these words a common meaning. Because the words could mean something different to me, it could be different to you. It's open to interpretation. So we have to give these words definitions and meanings. And it's important to understand this because in dogs, we have these new modern style of a way of living and philosophies. And it is not always in the best interest of the dog or the human beings for that matter. Whose best interest is it in? Well, we're going to explore that tonight. We're going to talk about the effects that it has on dogs, the way that we breed dogs, the importance of dog breeding and purebred dogs, purebred lines, the understanding where we have been, where we're going, where we're headed historically, the way that dogs have been bred. It's a lot of truth that I've uncovered, and I'd like to share this with you all. It's very valuable information. It's going to give you some insight. It's going to give you some direction. And it's relevant to the Boerboel breed. What we believe is the best dog breed on earth. We believe that the Boerboel surpasses all other breeds when it comes to modern lifestyle living. We gotta highlight these important historical facts, because if we do not recognize how we got here, we don't know exactly where we're going. With the Boerboel is very important, as it was regarded as one of the healthiest, most athletic mastiffs in the history of all mastiffs. We have to take this into mind. We have to take this into consideration when we're looking at dogs, selecting dog breeds. It's very valuable information. So I got a slideshow that I prepared for y'all. And before we get started, we got a couple announcements. Okay, this is season 4 of the Boerboel Breakdown and Discussion. We've had multiple seasons. We're going to try to get on a regular schedule this year. We're going to try to complete all of the things that we said we were going to do in 2024 that we kind of left some loose ends untied. We're going to tie up those things. with the United Boerboel Club. We're going to bring it. We're going to have those shows. We're going to bring more shows. We got one coming up in Pittsburgh coming up for the spring. Just to bring you up to speed, we steady doing breedings and behind the scenes. I want to make this point so that everyone understands what we are here to do. This show, this publication is not only a documented series, but this is our way of giving back. This is an educational platform where we exchange information. We believe knowledge is power. Our goal here is to empower you with knowledge. So we share facts, we share information, we exchange, because we would like for you to learn without taking learn the lesson without the loss. And so based off of our 17 years of experience, we come here today and we share our findings so that you can be more informed and make better decisions towards your breeding as well as an owner. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a Boerboel. It could be a regular dog owner. There's a lot of confusion surrounding purebred dogs, so we're gonna break it down. But before we get into that, let's talk about the 2024. We had a contest where we announced we were gonna award the top dog of the year. We made an announcement, post your dogs. These are the dogs that came through. We had a winner coming in 2024 United Boerboel Club Dog of the Year, Exotics Cato. Exotics Cato took the cake. He had the most votes. Outstanding specimen. You look at the muscling, it's very impressive. I love the way that his abdomen is tucked. Look at the pronounced rump, the muscling in his shoulders, chest, and neck. Cato, good job, well deserved, way to represent. Coming out of Connecticut, we're very proud of you. You are an excellent representative of the breed. You make us look good, and you are the 2024 Dog of the Year. Congratulations, Exotics Cato. Coming up right behind them, though, we have multiple entries into the Dog of the Year contest. Runner-up was Exotics Biko, holding it down in New Jersey. Biko is also an extremely impressive specimen, showing great conformation, extremely well put together, nice top line, impressive neck and head and chest. The rump is there, very well pronounced and muscles defined. This is what we like to see in our Boerboels. Coming in at number 2, runner-up dog of the year is Exotics Biko. Bitch of the year, 2024. Once again, hey, look, we make it hard to compete. Exotic Boerboel family. 2024 bitch of the year is Exotics Nova. Fine specimen here. Again, very well tucked in abdomen, very pronounced shoulders and muscling and definition. We got the straight top line, very strong neck, well-developed head. Look at the thickness of the muscle in the bone. This is an extremely impressive specimen. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep on putting it out there. Hey, look, we are very proud of our dogs. Thank you, Shelly Schaefer, for your work, your hard work that you've been doing with the dog. Congratulations. 2024 Female Dog of the Year. We're going to celebrate you. Everything that you have done, we're very proud. Your dog is amazing. It's beautiful. And because of that, hey, look, it's well-deserved. What you came up, we're going to celebrate that. Your hard work is evident. We can see that you've been working hard with your dog. And that's what we want. We want people to work hard. We want you to get out there and do something with your dog, whatever it is. The dog looks much better because of it. His confidence, his courage, it beams, it zooms in his pictures and his photos. Work with your dog's Boerboel family. It's going to pay off. It pays off. We always searching. We always trying to get that extra edge. And it's the little things. If I could just be a little bit better, I'm cool with that because it's better. Better is better. So we'll take it. Beautiful specimen. And finally, to wrap it up, for the 2024 runner-up bitch of the year is Exotics India, Exotic Boerboel Familia. We came hard. We really represented for the United Boerboel Club and the Boerboel breed. I'm very excited and proud of y'all. Exotic Boerboel Familia. This is India. We saw her on an appraisal. She had produced a very fine litter. Again, we see that magnificent top line, the tucked in abdomen, the pronounced the rump, the muscling in the rump, wide, well-developed chest, muscle in the shoulders and the neck. Very well-developed dog. Thank you so much for everyone that voted. We appreciate you. We are happy to have you participate with us. And because of that, hey, we got some winners. And everybody can't be a winner, but you can continue to work hard and you can strive and you can fight again. You could try again. We're going to have more contests. We want to get the community involved. This is all about the Boerboel breed, the best dog breed on earth. No other breed can compare, in my opinion. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me activate Instagram. I always forget to do this. But yeah, what I was saying, sorry about that, boy. Buddies, just give me 1 second. Forgive me. Well, we might not be able to get you on Instagram, boy, buddies. But there you go. What's going on? What's going on, family? So let's get off into this factual details. This is very, very important information. Like I said, we've been somewhat bamboozled. We've been somewhat led astray. And I want to make sure that we all are on the same page. Let's break it down. Let's give you the facts. Let's go ahead and debate, because what I have uncovered is going to be alarming to a lot of people. A lot of people going to disagree. A lot of people going to have countering opinions. And I'm going to open it up for the chat so you can join in and share the facts. Okay, everybody is welcome. This is an open platform. This ain't the hood. This ain't the block. As long as you're respectful, you can come here and share. So we're going to open this up for everybody to come in. Anybody that come in that's got some factual information would like to debate our findings, please, let's all come and join and exchange information. I'm going to put the link up. So if you got something that you feel that is relevant and you can add, or you just want to join in, we're going to open it wide open. Because like I said, again, this is community based. Let me just get this. Let me get this activated for Instagram. Pardon me, board buddies. We've been to get into some heavy details, so just it's going to be well worth it, because I got some information that I have found. Very valuable information. So let me just get this going forward. Okay. Well, this looks like we're not gonna have no Instagram. Hey, look, if y'all know somebody on Instagram that's interested, just share with them and let them know that they can. Hey, look, this is what we got going on. If they missed it, I'm sorry, Instagram. It's kind of complicated to get it locked in with the Instagram. I got to make sure that I remember to do. There's so much stuff going on. But like I said, let's get off into the facts and the information, because this is going to be groundbreaking. This is going to blow your mind, some of us, boy buddies. So let's take it to the beginning. First thing that we're going to do, this word purebred, where did it come from? When did we start using it? How did it become relevant? Why is it so important that you have a purebred dog? Why does a purebred dog mean so much? Well, this word was first recorded in 1849. Okay, so prior to 1849, there was no such thing as a purebred dog. Before that, we did have breeds of dogs, but they were only classified by the work that they did. So what that means is you had hound dog, that means he used his nose. You had a bird dog, that means he used his eyes. You had a retriever, that means he went to the water, so on and so forth. Purebred, this, if you think about the time period, 1849, this is along the Victorian era. Okay, this is along the time period of the industrialization of the globe. Okay, this is after Machines came out. The hearing Bessemer created the method to pour steel. So that rapidly advanced our societies across the globe. All right. Now keep that in mind, because prior to this, dogs worked alongside with us. Our lives were very laborious. That means that we had to work in order to eat. That means that you had to hunt in order to eat. In order to survive, you had to be active and involved with the chores and the labors of the daily on and going lifestyle. You had to get your own food. Well, you fast forward to the industrialization of the globe. Now what you have is machines that are able to do the work of 100 men. You have machines that are able to replace flocks of dogs. You have machines that are able to replace horses. So the farmer doesn't have to ride alongside the horse, so on and so forth. You got machines. Now you got tractors. You got this was the very beginning. So what we see during this era is a shift in the way that we live our lives. People start to have less of a role in the gathering of food, right? They don't participate as much as they once had to. So that's very important fundamentally in the way that our relationships with dogs changed, right? Because now we don't have to get out there in the woods for meat when we want to eat. Okay. So let's just keep that in mind. We can mass produce, mass farm, factory farm. Let's get off into this next slide. This word purebred, the roots of it are inspired by the high and mighty of a European aristocrats. And this comes from their obsession with pureness, royal families, being better. Somehow the mixing of the blood is frowned upon. They had royal families, Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth, they bred with their cousins. And this was their way of maintaining purity. In their mind, this was a way of separating themselves and being elevating themselves from the common folk. So if you have this royal blood and it's pure blood, you are somehow superior than to all the other races. So you're superior to all the other classes of people when you have this royal blood, because you high and mighty, you catered to, you pampered, you got all of the finest things, people listen to you, and so on and so forth. So these pure bloodlines were the royal and ruling classes, not necessarily the strongest classes, but because of the way that the politics and so on and so forth, wars had went, this was one of the things that evolved. So you got the Victorian era, Queen Elizabeth, you got, these people were advancing. And so they have this ideology that we are better. We don't mix with other races. We are the royal ones. We are the royal family. And we have the royal dogs. We have this special dog, Cavalier King Charles with his dog, so on and so forth. A lot of people had these dogs. So we get off into this royalness. All right. So let's just make sure that everybody's staying in on point with this. So we start off, we're working hard, we out there gathering food, we gotta hunt, we gotta kill in order to eat meat. We sometimes we don't eat, we only able to harvest, we only able to kill and eat what we harvest. We only able to, so now that was before the industrialization or the Henry Bessemer creates this steel pouring. Now we have the steel pouring, we got the industrialization, lives are changing, we got this ideology of civilized society. Oh, let me make this point too. So we also had pastimes of like bull baiting, gladiator sports, right? And where everybody would come to the Coliseum on a Sunday, and then we would have, battles. Dogs versus lions, dogs versus bears, dogs versus bulls, bulls versus bears. Then there was a pastime. This is what people did when they was bored. You know, they sit up, eat at the Coliseum, kind of similar to what we do at the Super Bowl or the football game. We have these contests, sports. That was another way that dogs were actively involved in our society. So we had a certain class of dogs that was warriors, right? So these are the pastimes: hunting at nighttime, being hunt. You got all over the world, you got different kinds of hunt, but this is just what we do because this is just the way that we live in. We have to hunt in order to eat meat. Now, once this Queen Victoria or this Victorian era sets about, when we got this steel, we start to get more civilized. Hey, that's not necessarily something that we want to be doing. We don't want to be fighting dogs. We want to be more looked at as classy individuals. We're not as a barbaric. We're leaving that time behind us. We're not doing that anymore. All right, we're not killing anymore for fun. That's barbaric. That's brutal. We're going to have more civilized sports. We're going to have a more civilized styles of ways of living. And they banned dog fighting. They banned bull baiting, right? They're going to get more civilized. We're going to start to have fancy dog shows. Okay, so this is kind of like the origins. This is the very beginning of dog shows. I think the first dog show was in 1879. All right, let's get to the next slide. So why is this purebred catching on? Why is it the new trend? What does it make having a purebred dog better than your average mongrel or better than my hunting dog? Well, it makes people feel superior. It defines one dog as better than the other, and it makes people feel important. So yeah, I got a purebred dog. He's a hunting champion, or he's a da-da-da-da-da. He's bred conformationally sound. And we use these words. He fits the standard. Well, what is the standard? Well, yeah, the standard is, that means that his anatomy is correct. He's fitting the way that the type of work, because the way that he's built and developed, he fits into this kind of life. And then a person that's lame or layman doesn't really understand all of this terms, or he's just looking to buy a dog. He's like, oh, I think I do need a purebred, because purebred is dog. If you think about it, it goes along. It makes perfect sense. Royal blood, pure blood. Royal blood is better. Royal pure dogs are better. You kind of see what I'm saying? So these kind of like reoccurring things, these consistent things. Oh, well, I need to have a royal blood. I need to have a royal dog. I need to have a pure dog, not just a mix. So all of this is kind of like classism, right? Rich, high and mighty, the bosses, the ballers, the owners, the CEOs, the emperors, the rulers, they were the ones that was out with their dogs, and they had these big fishtails. So-and-so Dolomite knocked off the biggest deer. If I didn't have Dolomite, and these dogs became legends. These dogs became sought after, and nobody could really counter the point, because who was in charge? This is the boss man. This is the owner. The field hand was lucky. He was happy to be there. The regular handler, they didn't go on these fancy hunts. This was between King James and King Charles. They meet up at night. We're going to find out who got the best dog. We're going to find out who's the best man. We're going to find out who's the best hunter. And we're going to find out who's the best provider. And when we're going to get back to the village, we're going to bring back our trophies. We're going to bring back. And at the end of the day, King Charles, my dog is the real dog. I got the purebred, and everybody want to be like me. And nobody is going to challenge me, because I'm the king. And everybody that's under me is subservient. And if anybody got something to say that goes against what I'm saying, off with their head. It's just that simple. I'm the king, and I'm the ruler. And my definition is the one that stands. It's the only one that matters. I said that this is a purebred dog. I said that his neck's supposed to be this long. And I see that the other dog might can hunt a little bit better than the king's dog, but the king is the ruler. And I'm the one that's making the chart, they're making the rules. And everybody else is inferior to me, and I'm the boss. So that's kind of like how it goes. And then when they rank the dog based off of what the king said, who was governing, who was in charge. Let's get off into this next slide. Part of the problem, the reason that we want to address this, we want to make sure that this is understood because we got a lot of issues that's creeping up in our breeds. We got a lot of issues that's associated with dogs, purebred dogs. Why is that? Well, purebred dog breeding equals inbreeding. Yeah, it's incest. It's required incest. And it comes from this same idea that pure blood is better than regular blood, that royal blood is superior to common blood. Inbred is better than crossbred. And it's this ideology that leads us to von Willebrand's disease or whatever it was that they had, Rosenberg. They had a lot of issues with the royal families. They had genetic defects that was rampant. They were inferior. They were not as weak. They were not as strong. They were weaker, and they didn't have the longer lifestyle, the long lifespans. They had a lot of issues. Well, that translates into dogs. A lot of the issues that we see in purebred dogs, it can be directly related to inbreeding. We don't see these problems with deers. We don't see these problems with squirrels. You ever heard of a squirrel with hip dysplasia? You ever heard of a deer with cardiomyopathy with a heart? You ever heard of a bird with severe allergies to nuts? Okay. No, that doesn't occur in nature because in nature, the strong survive. If you've got all of these ailments that need to be supported with human intervention, then you die. If you can't survive on your own, if you're not strong, only the strong survive in the wild. But because we have favored certain dogs over others, we coddle them, we support them, we build them up, then that's how they end up breeding and surviving. But without the intervention of man, they would not still be here. And because of this philosophy, because of this ideology, pureness, of royalness, of untainted, of unmixed, this is where we have arrived. I don't think that a large percentage of the majority of people understand how did we get here. How did we get here is because of this mindset. It goes to our power of belief. The power of belief is very important. Money don't mean a thing because unless people believe that it does mean something, right? It's nothing but it. Really, if you think about it logically, money ain't nothing but metal or paper, cloth, but it has value because of our belief system. Same thing with purebred dogs. This is a way to establish value. Nothing more, nothing less. This is a way to say, I'm better than you. I'm better than them. My dog is better than theirs without any true proof of the fact. So let's just really break it down into what it is. Because if you think about purebred, all purebreds come from mixing. So how could you ever be pure? That's the logical question. At what stage, and you got a lot of differences in opinions. Some people will say, well, it takes 5 generations before you become pure. You take 10 generations to become pure. You take so many generations because it become pure. And I say, well, how do you get to that number? How do you arrive at 5? How do you arrive at 10? How do you arrive at 7? Why not 3? Make it make sense to me. And I can never get no regular, consistent answer because the truth of the matter is, it's all made up. We've been lied to. It doesn't make sense, and it's not something that is illogical. Birds don't do that. Trees don't do that. Like I said, historically, dogs was classified by the type of work. Pointers had to point. Shepherds had to herd. Setters had to sit still. This is what made it. So it wasn't based off of how the dog looked. If you think about a setter or a hound or a pointer, you got all of these different pointers that perform the same task, right? In theory, you should be able to breed a German short-haired pointer with an English pointer and still have a dog that points. If we're determining dogs by breed by function, then that breeds true. And that is historically the way that we selected dogs. Collies had to be able to herd. And we didn't really, if you look at, I'm gonna give you the perfect example. If you look at the dogs, the sled dogs in the Iditarod, right? If you look at the dogs that they use for running, you look at the dogs that they have actually out employed in the field in Antarctica. These dogs have no distinct type. You got a lot of different variety. Well, why is that? Well, the reason that you have so many different varieties of dogs is because they're classified by the task. None of the dogs really look the same, but you think they are similar when it comes to function and the way that they perform. And if you don't, I will post some links for you to see for yourself. If you don't believe me, I'll post the links, because it doesn't make sense to have a dog around and feeding a dog. Remember, food is hard to come by. It wasn't plentiful. We had to work for it. We had to hunt for it. We had to go out and find it. We had to seek out, search. We had to be keen. We had to be cunning. So it doesn't make sense to feed an animal extra food rations that we really don't have, unless that dog is contributing. So this is how this is how dogs were bred and performed and selected historically. All right, that's very important to understand, because nowadays, after this historic time period, this evolution and this industrialization of society, we start selecting dogs based off of this new civil definition of a purebred, of a pure blood. So prior to this standardization of dogs, prior to this evolution of dog shows and the evolution of modern civilized society, prior to the end of the industrialization and the machines becoming involved with the farms, dogs were selected based off the tasks that they perform. So you have people in Germany hunting, you have people in England hunting, France, and they got together when they traded. You know, people traveled, they toured, they brought their dogs with them. But because this is what we do, we don't go to the gym and shoot jump shots after work, right? When the sun set, we get out there, we get in the field, we get in the woods, and we go try to find us some meat. This was historically what the way that life was. Next slide. Now, who was the one that started it all? This all comes from England. This all began in the 1700s, right? After we freed ourselves or won the battle, importation of garments was illegal. So, you know, we were trying to separate ourselves from buying from overseas. Yet some people still had access to these goods. They were it was a status symbol. If you had fine silk, you had the things that were from England, if you had those type of connections, because they were banned because of the importation agreements. You know, we're not going to be importing stuff from Britain. If you had that, you were looked at as somewhat special. You know, these were rare items. It was exclusive items, lace, silk, things of that nature. It made Britain seem more, everybody wanted to go back to what they were familiar to. And these were the things that they used to having: fine garments, linens, silks. So we wanted to be like them. And we modeled our dog breeding philosophies after Britain, after Europe, right? So this is all based off of somebody else, us trying to be like somebody else, instead of doing our own thing and setting our own trends. Think about it. France, Paris, London, a lot of our fashion trends is coming from there, right? And then where do they have these big fashion shows? In the US, they go over to New York. So with that being said, okay, think about dog shows. Where is the main dog show? the biggest dog show of the year. It's in New York. What is they calling it? Westminster. What is Westminster? A European thing. It's something that got to do with England. I can't tell you exactly, but I do know that for sure. Westminster means English or something. Hold on, I'll tell you for sure exactly. But it got something to do. Yeah, so Westminster is the bustling government area near Buckingham Palace. It's in London. It's not in the USA. So with that being understood, Westminster, the most prestigious dog show, the most highly, if you win Westminster, that's one of the most highly decorated dogs that you could possibly be. This is all rooted in the European mindset, and this aristocracy, rich folks, leisure time, having the best. They start to create these words to confuse you. These words are deceptive. These words have been created to, hold on. Oh my goodness, I done lost it. Yeah. So we question them. We ask a lot of questions because we are not clear. And a lot of people have problem with you when you ask questions because it doesn't make sense. But I know that wordplay is often used as a weapon. So because of that, my logical sense, Boerboel Familia, we ask questions. You cannot just tell us anything and then we just be like, okay, and that's the end of the day. We just accept that as the truth. No. Logic. If we use our brains, logical conclusions, we ask questions until we have the answers. People in control use wordplay to confuse you, to distract you, to disarm you, right? Purebred, pure blood, don't even make sense because all blood is mixed. But this is something that people use to try to confuse you, to make it seem like they have something that you don't, to make it seem like theirs is better, to make it seem like their ice is colder, to make it seem like their heat is warmer. But the truth is, heat is heat, ice is ice. Wait a minute, more buddies. Are you with me? Here we go. All right. Okay, so that's it. So the bottom line, let's get down to it. The bottom line, what I want to leave y'all, what I really want to make sure that is understood, the Boerboel, what makes it a fantastic dog is it is a blend. It encompasses the best of the terrier, the best of the hound, the best of the mastiff, the best of the bulldog. And it brings it all together in a perfect symmetrical blend. This is our historic roots, more buddies, is out of Boerboel Familia. This is what made the Boerboel the most impressive dog breed if you have ever seen. The intelligence. And we are beginning to lose some of this edge that we have on these other breeds as our dog becomes more inbred. That's why I'm a big fan of the Black Boerboel. I'm very thankful for Lucas Van Buren for including the dog. And because it had to be a nice dog for it to be included. Nobody gonna just add in a trash dog into their breeding program. And I think that it can be respected. It's logical that you would include a very nice specimen. So because of that, I think that enhances our diversity, which is very important. The Boerboel will outperform a multitude of breeds in a variety of tasks. One of the most intelligent breeds. It is athletic, it's muscular, it's powerful. You start thinking about other dog breeds, they can't compare when it comes to the complete package. Why it is the Boerboel like that? Because of this diversity, because of this 14 different breeds that encompasses the best of all of these different breeds. And we are beginning to lose our vigor. We are beginning to lose the things that makes the Boerboel the most impressive, the most athletic breed. We got to be mindful of this. Health testing is not going to save us because of spontaneous mutations. That means that we only can test for what is known. Because of inbreeding, you have what is known as doubling up of the L's. You have a spontaneous mutation that wasn't previously tested for. This is something that was previously unknown. So now, even though your dogs have been health tested, because you're inbreeding, you just created a new genetic defect that was previously unknown. They never had dogs back in the day that had allergies, right? Just for an example. Well, why they didn't have allergies? Well, because they had diverse pedigree. They had a diverse breeds involved in their history. They had hybrid vigor. Hybrid vigor makes the dogs healthier. Now, I'm not advocating for you to go out and start crossbreeding your dogs. The point that I'm making to you is, don't be misled by someone trying to tell you that their dog mirrors the standard better than the next man's. Their dog is better, or anybody that's trying to stand behind a pedigree. Anybody that's trying to stand behind, well, this is a purebred. And you're looking at the dog, and I'm using that as a selling point, because all of these terms are designed to define value. It's designed to assert my dog is better than yours. I'm better than you. You less than me. Or I'm less than you. This is what these words, the word purebred and pure blood, is designed to do. Doesn't make your dog any better. If a person can't explain to you, if a breeder can't explain to you why your dog is desired, how the value is added to his or her life, what role does it play, then how do you feel like it's going to fit in your life? Right? It's the same thing. The person can only tell you, well, this dog, this reason that it's worth this is because of this lineage, because of this historical document. That's con game. They're trying to convince you. They're trying to lead you down a path of deception. Maybe some knowing and some unknowing. But the point that I'm trying to make for you, Boer buddies, is that dog that's in front of your eyes. You cannot deny. The eyes don't lie. The breeder should be able, any breeder or people in general should be able to explain why this dog is worthy. How does it fit in? And why it would be valuable to you or the next person. We got to get away from just using dogs as commodities, right? It's not just a quick flip. It's not an easy route to some cheese. It's not a side hustle. It's not a flip. It's not it's something that you do because you love. The dogs involved, the dogs bring so much value to our lives. And as enthusiasts, as advocates for the breed, we got to be able to explain this to people because we want to keep dogs out the shelter. We want to keep dogs in the homes. We want people to understand the best reason to get a dog is not just to look cool. It's not just about standing out showing off. It's not about beating on your chest and saying I'm the best. If you cannot show and prove what your dog can do, then it don't make sense. And it shouldn't make sense to you. It don't make sense to me. Because I hear a whole lot of lip. I see a whole lot of people, and I'm not, and look, do your thing. But just let you know, exotic Boerboel familia, they're not going to fool us. They're not going to trick us because we know the real. And I'm here to tell you what I found out. I've been doing a lot of homework. I've been doing a lot of research. I don't want to just jump on here, just to get on here just to make a video. I'm trying to bring you some facts, some findings, some research that I did. I like to read, believe it or not. So this is what I found out. This is what I came up with because I had some questions. People keep saying, well, yeah, I see the DNA test coming back. And I'm seeing some dogs got mixed ancestry and heritage and lineage. And it don't make no sense to me. and Boer Buddies inside of Boerboel Familia. I just want y'all to know I got your back. And if you got some questions, and look, we'll get to the bottom of it. Let's find out what's really going on, because there's so much deception in this world. There's so much lies. There's so much mislead. There's so much mistruth. And that one thing that I want my platform to be is a place of the light, the place where the light outshines the dark, where the truth. What up, doggy? Where the truth outshines the lies. We bringing it to you. We giving it to you straight, not late. No chasing. This is the factual information. If you think about it logically, it all makes sense. Zada Boerboel Family, I appreciate y'all for joining. I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you got questions, now would be the time. What up, bro? What's up with my people? Wanzel, Ra, Thomas, the homie, Zooland, JD. We in here. Hey, we back again, 2025. I'm still alive. Hey, and I'm gonna keep on going and dropping it down for you to pick up until the wheels fall off. If anybody got any questions, now would be the time. Now would be the time. The bottom line that for this show is that what I want y'all to walk away with is this term purebred dog breeding is derived by the high and mighty of society to make themselves feel more important. It's not something that's real. It's not something that has been throughout the ages of 10,000 years. This is about the high and mighty society acting like they got something better. A lot of times they ending up coming down to the fields or coming down to common folk and getting dogs from common folk, and then they take the dog back up to the high society and they brag amongst each other. This is historic. This is not something that I just came up with off the top of my head. This is the way that it was. I've been doing a lot of homework and researching and studying like these time periods and these eras. You know, what were the past times? What did people do at nighttime? What did people do for fun? And this is what I came up with. This is why people love dogs. Dogs was, and if you look at every single dog breed, they all have a purpose. I'm talking about from the top, the biggest dog, all the way down to the smallest dog. They were all assistants. They were all sidekicks. Even the dog that didn't hunt, he went back home and he stayed with the kids and the family. He might not have been the best dog for the hunt, but he had a role. Every dog played a role. So that need to be understood. In order to have great success moving forward, you got to give a dog a job. Fundamentally, these dogs that we seeing in the shows are not the real true dogs. They replicas. Collies can't, the working collie. What's up, Kenny? My main man. The collie nowadays, the working collie is not the one that they are breeding. They're not winning the shows. It's not the champion. The working collie breeders are looking at not dog shows, not the championship. And that is a reoccurring amongst all dog breeds. Every working dog has a show counterpart, right? And look, if you don't believe me, do your homework, do your own research. Every show breed has a working counterpart. Working dog people, dogs that are in an active role, dogs that are functioning, are not out there in the show ring. So with that being understood, if you want a dog that is able to perform, that is going to have better health, more intelligence, more biddable, you're going to be looking at a working dog, a dog that's bred and selected in that way, not necessarily based off of his lineage, not because it only has been bred within a certain family of dogs, not because all of the dogs in its pedigree are related to the same dog. You're looking for a dog that is able to perform in its role. So let's just make that across the board. If anybody got any counter findings, then let that be found. Let that be said. Let that, you can share that now, forever hold your peace. But I just want to let everybody know what I found, because we can make better informed decisions. I think that in the Boerboel breed, we don't see heavy line breeding because it leads to health issues. It leads to health defects. It leads to a lot of problems. It leads to smaller dogs. And the long term, the reality is, if you want a performance, if you want a dog that is able to perform, that's able to arrive at tasks, then you have to select for it that way. You're not going to get that based off of a look. You can't look at a dog and determine its abilities. And that's the way, that's the ideology of the standardized dog breeding, of the professional dog breeding, of the show dog breeding, of the purebred dog breeding, is that these certain features at these certain characteristics are visually measurable in terms of a dog's ability to perform a function or a task. That's so far from the truth, it don't make no sense. And it's not logical, but they'll argue it until the end of the time that this is the way that it's supposed to be. The dog don't have a perfect, see, and this is why it doesn't make sense to me. It's another reason I'm gonna break it down. So a dog is a dog, period, point blank. You can't say that the scissor bite or an underbite makes the bulldog a better gripper and makes a bulldog a better biter because he's able to now hold the nose and breathe, and it makes another dog a less of a dog if it has the underbite. It makes another dog disqualified. It doesn't make any logical sense, and it doesn't make any an anatomical sense from an anatomy standpoint. I just want to share that with everyone. Is driving working the same? Okay, yeah, we open it up for questions. This is a good one. Is driving working the same? No, not at all. Not at all. Work is a job. So then here we go again, getting into these definitions. And this is Jordan's definition, not Webster. To me, work is a job. That means performing a task. Drive means that you are willing and able and committed to that task. So you don't necessarily have to have a whole lot of intelligence to be willing to work, if that makes sense. Drive is your will, the will, or your determination to do something. The actual work is the task. So you got some dogs that are driven, he just wants to do something, but he doesn't know what it is. And he all over the place. That has a lot to do with the human, because the human is responsible for providing a role for the dog to play. The leader is. Every individual in the pack plays a role. The leader defines those roles. Work and drive is not the same at all, but they do have relation to one another, if that makes sense. We're buddies. I'm so happy to be back. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how much further. I don't know what else. I'm out of words, flat out. Y'all got any questions? I'll talk back with you. If not, I'm gonna close it up and shut it down till next time. Stay tuned. We got news that you can use. I hope that y'all found this informative. Drop me a line, y'all. Let me know what I need to do better. How can I improve this? How could I make this more entertainment and more informational? I've been trying to figure out. Hold on, let me see something. Okay. I gotta figure out how to get the music going. We're gonna get some music in there. We got a United Boerboel Club is coming hard. We got breedings lined up left and right. The dog food. Oh man, it's got me so busy. We in stores. We in a couple stores now. So yeah, boy buddies, that's what's up. And if anybody got any questions, now will be the time. What's up, Kenny? Kenny said he got one question. I'm happy to answer any questions. Like I said, you're welcome to join in. 7 o'clock Thursdays. I don't know. y'all got to let me know. Would y'all rather have more episodes frequent off the fly, straight off the top of the head, straight from the cuff, shooting off the hip? Or do y'all want me to come with the research? Do y'all want what y'all want? Like very calculated, deliberate. Let me know right now how we should move forward. 2025. Do you want all of the entertainment? Okay. Do you want more entertainment or do you want more information and education? Kenny says, what dog is better to have as a pet and breed? Short working lines. It really all depends on your end goals and objectives. So if you're trying to have a dog that is very beautiful, very recognizable. So what that means, when somebody sees it, it's easy to identify. That clearly is a golden retriever. That clearly is a Labrador. That clearly is a Doberman. That's typically what the show line is. It means that the dog is viewable and is able to be identified based off of features. And then, or do you want a dog that is defined by task? So do you have a specific role that a dog, like, are you a hiker? And you want a dog that is willing and capable of covering a 5-mile distance, up and down hills, in heat, in extreme cold? Do you need a dog that's able to do that? Do you want a dog that's able to identify prey? Are you looking for a dog to accompany you on hunts? Are you looking for a dog that has got a strong nose? Are you looking for, you trying to search visitors for weapons? You know, you checking people for guns as they come in the house or as they coming into the spot. You know what I'm saying? You want the dog to be able to identify gunpowder. You're looking for a dog that is able to shoot it. So about the Boerboel only, yeah. Or okay, you say I'm speaking Boerboel only. I feel like their working lines of Boerboel is somewhat mythical because, you know, what is the work that defines the Boerboel? The Boerboel is a companion-oriented breed. So that means that it's able to fit in and perform with a family. And it's not problematic. It's not destroying furniture. It's not costing you a whole lot of cheese. It's not breaking up your stuff. You know, is he manageable? Is he good with the children? I feel like the work that defines a Boerboel, there really is no working lines, in my personal opinion. I feel like you could get, because the Boerboel is a very diverse breed, in any given litter, you can have specimens that lean towards work. You can have specimens that lead towards show. It really all depends on your desires. You have to know what you're selected for. You got to have a really strong idea of the temperament of the parents. When you start to strongly looking at and considering a litter, you really want to, you know, be able to identify what it is that you like in the parents and what do you see from those parents in those puppies. And specifically related to the Boerboel, me personally, I would be looking for moderate, mild, easy going, not very excited, because at my age, it has a lot to do with your lifestyle too. It really is a matter of preference. You know, in my 20s, I want a dog that can go nonstop. You know, got a motor. I can run him to death. You know, because of my lifestyle was a little bit different. I'm in my 40s now, 20 years. I'm 42 now, so I need a dog that is more laid back and relaxed. I like a dog that is more even keeled. I feel like that's more manageable for my, you know, I got 5 daughters, and I feel like I want to have a dog that is, they are able to manage and control. And sometimes, you know, if you get a dog that is a little driven, he may be, you know, highly inclined to protect. He may be prey oriented, prey driven. So you want to have something. Me personally, I like a dog that's balanced. Now, if you know, have a more active lifestyle, you out constantly, you know, you at the park, you in the trails, you in the woods, you hiking, you hunting, you know, you very outdoorsy. You might want a dog that's a little bit more high drive, but you got to kind of like match the dog to your personality. It's not one glove fits all. It's not a one size fits all type of glove. Every dog should be selected or considered based off of your lifestyle. And that's what I'm really want to get down to. All of this whole, how much does it mirror a standard? That don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean a thing to me. And it might mean something to you. Right? But I'm into the actual dog. I would like a dog to be a dog. I'm looking for my best friend. I'm looking for that therapy. I'm looking for that constant eye contact. I'm looking for the relationship. I'm trying to build the bond. I don't want a dog that has got a mind of his own and just doing his own thing. And he just an ornament and he just looks really good. I want a dog that's my homie. If you look at my young pup baby, you look at any of my dogs that I hang out, any other dogs that I kick it with, any of my dogs that you see on my video, even the dogs that is not my dogs, we got a relationship. And I feel like that should be always a priority. You know, you want to build and develop that relationship, that bond, because that at the end of the day is what's going to carry you to success. If you don't have that bond, you don't have that respect, then that leads to problems. And a lot of times we don't understand dog behavior. We don't understand the role of the dog, and we don't understand the wolf pack. So we're not really strong in our leadership. We don't really run our households the way that we should. This whole part of the problem with society is these definitions, these words, these terms. It's confusing. And especially for people that don't have strong traditions, well, that's something totally different. We don't want to get off subject. But again, it has to do with these words, these terms. It's my fault, y'all. I lost my train of thought. But I get out my hookup sometime. I'll get running off into a tangent. But like I said, you know, we don't want to get misled. It's not about what is pure, what is mixed, what is real, what is fake, what is standard, you know, what meets the standard, what is correct. Because again, these definitions, which is a standard, basically defines the breed. They constantly change, or they evolve, or they be amended, which means altered. So they change it based off of the people that is in charge. What do they feel is correct? So these definitions, these standards, they elusive, they floating. It's just constantly shifting target. And it ain't fair because it favors the ones that make the rules. I'm advocating for a system where we measure and judge the dog based off of the dog. What you talking about? This is supposed to be correct. This ratios of muzzle to jaw. Then give me some real measurements. You say that the height is supposed to be this height and the length to the ratio. I'd like to see the measurements. Let's make it something that we can all aim towards a level playing field, not just off of your opinion of what you believe is ideal, not because you're trying to find your dogs. Okay, what was it? It's a good question. That's another question, Kenny. Okay. What was the reason for crossing over from the Cane Corso? I think you're talking about the Corso, right? Well, we got another question. Yeah, crossing over from the Cane Corso. So, me personally, the Boerboel was much more impressive. I love a Corso. I love a good one. And I had a good one. I have what I believe one of the best to go down in history. Let's take a look at my video. As a matter of fact, I feel that the Corso is was a little bit too aggressive for me. Corso was, remember I told you, I said this over and over again. I had a lot of company. I had a budding family. You know, I have a lot of visitors coming over. And the bottom line is my Corso was just me. You know, she was, and I had, you know, another dog that stayed right behind me was also a Corso. And this dog was extremely aggressive. He was big, you know, and the man could barely control the dog. He would call the dog would barely come back. You know, and he was big. My kind of Corso, I had a bitch. My bitch was no joke. She would run, and I mean, she wouldn't let people that lived in the house come in. Okay. So, and I just thought that this is too much dog. This is too much dog. This is gonna be too much dog for my family. This is gonna be too much dog for my well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find this for y'all, boy buddies. Let me just double check. Okay, wait. I might can find it. Okay, yeah, I got you. This was my original Corso. And I don't have a lot of that. I'm trying to get you. Oh, they go one. So this is my original Corso. That ain't what I said. So. Hold on. Okay, there you go. Now that's my original Corso. It's my oldest daughter right there. She was just a baby. My wife, the dog, my Corso, and her. Yeah, so that was my bitch right there. That's Color. And I called her Color because we didn't know what color that she was. She was a little bit of blue. She had a little bit of this brown. She was actually a chestnut brindle. Once I learned about breed definitions and so on and so forth. That's my oldest daughter right there. She's 20 years old now. And this is one of my first YouTube videos. And you see my Corso was really happy. You know, she's there greeting my baby. She was a great dog. Really was my daughter's best friend. I don't think that I mean, you know, if it was long term, like I said, I always say this, I probably would. Corso would be my second best breed of dog, my second favorite breed. But let me see if I can find some more videos. You know, the fact that the dog was able to be, you know, it was very biddable. She was very intelligent. You see her off leash, you know, just hanging out with the family. And that type of stuff was important to me, right? See if I can find some more videos of my course. I mean, this dog was very intelligent, but the problem was the level of aggression. You know, I had people that would come over and I would tell them, hey, look, just come in, sit down, chill out, relax. Because I ain't putting the dog up, period. Hey, man, put the dog up. No. Go home. I'm not putting the dog up. And then they come in, you know, they chill. And I don't know why people would try to pet my dog, but I didn't tell you to pet the dog. I said, don't touch the dog. They still try to pet the dog. And then they got a lot of people bit. I had like 13 people got bit by this dog. And it was all minor bites. There was all warning bites. I don't know how much of that had to do with me. I don't know how much of that was my fault. But the point that I'm making is I didn't want a male dog doing that. Okay, here go another one of my course. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite videos. And look at this, board buddies. This is the same spot. Now this is me right here all day. This is my first dogs as a man. This is the same spot that I'll be at with my dogs today. Ain't nothing changed. I'm still doing the same thing from the very beginning. This was a great video. I really like it from the beginning. Look at the athleticism. Look at the stride. That's my first Boerboel right there. And you hear the growling and stuff. That's the Corso trying to be more, dominant, more intimidating. And the Boerboel was much stronger, right? He had a higher tolerance for pain. But look at the Corso. She's intelligent. Now she's using the leash to control him. She got him by the leash. And then she would take him for walks. It was really, they had a great relationship. The Corso, like I said, look at that. Look at that. That's my boy right there. That's Pluto. Yeah, extreme athleticism. Now he was only 106 pounds, but you see that dog was ripped. It's the same spot that I be at. It's the same thing. So that's consistency, board buddies. Like my life is very simple. I go, grind hard, come home, be with my family. The dogs is an extension of my family. This is a part of my family. And this is what's important to me. So this is what I do. Let's check out a couple more. That's really cool. I love that dog. Pluto, I love them two dogs. Them two dogs right there never be able to be replaced. This was my first litter of Corso puppies. See, I was feeding them chicken back then. My first whelping box. My cousin built this for me, installed the power. This was at my first house as a man. I was very proud of myself. Very proud of myself. These were some phenomenal dogs that was colored to God. Scandifios, Gotti, my dude, Courtney G, Celebrity Connie Corsos. He came and mentored me, walked me through that litter, and I'm very appreciative of that. R.I.P. Courtney G. Here we go again. Now look at this. You see this? Look at the Corso checking. This bitch was just extra. She was just extra. She was a great dog though. But look at her checking my boy. She trying to dominate him, control his movement. Remember, movement is a very big part of dogs' resources, space. She's controlling his space. She's controlling his movement, right? So that's what a dominator does. My camera skills wasn't as good back then. But yeah, so there was a lot of with the Corso.
All right, folks, in today's video, we're going to discuss if the Boerboel or South African
Mastiff
is right for you and your family. You're going to learn everything you need to know about the South African Mastiff. So we brought him here to Bass Pro Shops because, as you can see, we're getting geared up for a safari over in South Africa. A few things to buy before
and guess who's in South Africa? Let me see if I can find. I got a special gift. I got a special for y'all. It's in South Africa. If you're in South Africa, y'all go check out. Hey, look, I got a very special speaker. That's speaking in South Africa soon. Maybe today, I don't know. I got to find that out for y'all. It's great details. Hey, boy buddies, that's it. Neil Messi people. Yeah. Hey, boy buddies, I appreciate y'all for joining. I hope that y'all found this informative. If you have more questions, please let me know. Y'all reach out. Y'all visit the website. We're going to make this. Let me know what I need to do to make this more informative, more entertaining for y'all, boy buddies. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to keep on coming. I'm going to keep on pressing. Don't know if I'll be back next week. I should be back next week. But if not, we're going to be going. I was going to do the first Thursday and the 1st and the 15th. But then again, that's some very busy time. So I think we're going to do the second and the second Wednesday of the month. The second Thursday of the month. Every month. Mandatory minimum. Second Thursday of the month, 7 o'clock on the dot. We're going to be here everywhere except the electric chair. Thursday, 7 p.m. Boer buddies, don't waste no time. Make the most out of every minute and every moment. You ain't got time to waste. Time cannot be replaced. Don't forget, be kind to others. It don't hurt and it don't cost you a dime to be kind. Much love, y'all. I appreciate y'all for joining. I hope that y'all picked up some valuable information and insight. Once again, I'm your host, Jordan Pittman, and this is the Boerboel Breakdown. Until next time, Boer buddies, stay active. Don't waste no time.
No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and now you got a deal run up. Old gang, old man, old school, young jam.